Oh, hi, friends. I've just been trying out some science experiments. I love science because learning about how the world works teaches me a lot about faith and about trusting God. Plus, it's a great way to explore God's creation. Check this out, for example. If I drop this rock into this water, what do you think will happen? Well, let's find out. And it sank. But do you know why it sank? It sank because the rock is more dense than the water. That means the molecules inside the rock, the tiny bits of stuff that it's made of, are packed really tight together, tighter than the molecules in the water. So the loose molecules in the water can't make a net that's strong enough to hold up that super dense rock. But what do you think will happen if I drop this rock in the water? It'll sink, right? Let's find out. Wow! Look, this rock is floating! But how can it be? Well, this rock must be less dense than the water, right? And here's why. This is a lava rock. When the lava that it's made of cooled and hardened into rock, it caught lots of air bubbles inside of it. That means that this rock is full of holes. Those holes spread out the molecules and make this much less dense than a normal rock. You know, God built so many incredible features into our planet. There's so much to learn, and just when we think we know it all, there's usually a cool surprise to keep us guessing, like our floating rock. Speaking of floating, have you ever tried to float in the water? At first, it can seem pretty hard. We might think that we have to work hard to stay on top of the water, and we try and paddle with our arms and legs, but the more we splash and move and tire ourselves out, the harder it gets to stay afloat. And sometimes life feels that way too. It feels like we're working and struggling and fighting, but somehow we're just barely keeping our heads above water. But you know, God gave us some special solutions to help us keep afloat in water and in life. In water, first, we make sure there's a good lifeguard nearby. And then we can take a hint from this lava rock by taking a nice big calm breath. Let's try it. When our lungs are full of air, like the holes in this lava rock, it is so much easier for us to float. Then it takes a little courage and a little practice, but if we flip onto our backs and relax and rest our heads back, suddenly we're floating, almost effortlessly. Have you ever felt that? And in life, when we're having a tough day, and we're trying really hard but things just aren't working, or it feels like we're kicking and paddling really hard but we're just not getting anywhere, we can take a deep breath again and remember this rock. God created this rock in a special way that helps it float. And God created us to be special too. Every one of us is God's beloved child, so we can trust in God's loving care to keep us afloat on days when life feels easy and days when it doesn't. Amen? Amen.